Missing someone with all your missing someone
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In this episode I'm going to show you a full transformation. So this is a brand new client and she is wanting to go do a totally different color. So she pretty much has really grown out roots and some old color on the very ends that she bleached herself at home. But pretty much everything that you see on the very top where the root is all of her virgin hair. And her goal today is to just be as blonde as possible. She showed me photos of something that was like super light, and I already let her know that that's gonna take like a few sessions to get there. So today I'm gonna just focus on giving her super light, and then later when she comes back in next time we can definitely see if her hair can take another lightening session, because again I did mention that she bleached her ends at home herself and they weren't feeling the best. So that I kind of just have to assess when she comes back in for her next appointment. Also guys, I don't know what happened to my camera quality. I think I might have accidentally put it on the wrong setting, so it's a little bit grainy for the rest of the video, so I apologize in advance for the footage, but you can still kind of see what I'm doing and I will be explaining as well. So right now I just outlined the hairline of the nape, and that first foil was pretty much like a baby light or a small weave, and then the section right after that was just a slice. And now I'm going in and doing another slice, and I'm gonna continue and fixing up the back by taking just slices all throughout her head. Also, in case you're wondering what Jen and I are wearing, this was the Saturday right before Halloween, so our salon always dresses up. You can see other people behind me as well wearing costumes. So I was a french fry and Jen was a soda, and it was just really fun to see everyone dress up. I love seeing everyone's costumes every year, and it's just like so funny to see everyone just like working and doing hair in full costume. So this is kind of where I started to take my slices in the middle of the hair. So here I am going to be taking sections not too far apart because she has really dark hair. And the other thing is that her hair is very dense and thick. Prior to lightening or even starting the foils, I've already thinned out her hair and cut it a little bit. So this is going to help save me a lot of product and time by doing it this way. And then of course at the very end, once I'm done with the color, I always check the haircut and then finish the haircut as well, making sure that everything looks good, and then just see if any more needs to be cut off at that point. So my spacing in the back section here, I'm pretty much just taking slices all the way up, and so the negative space is also just another slice. So I'm not leaving a ton of negative space back here because we want to get her as light as possible. And I opted to do slices just because it's a faster technique and she's going to get the most impact with this color technique. And then the next time when she comes in and I find that her hair can take another lightening session to where she can go a little bit lighter, then all I have to do is pretty much find the slices of dimension that I left at this appointment and highlight those pieces the next appointment. And so this just makes it super easy because I normally will just have a very similar sectioning pattern for everybody, and the weaves may be a little bit different, but it just makes it easier for me to retouch it later in the future. So since my client's hair is pretty dense and thick and coarse, all of those things, I am making sure that my foils are really flat. I don't like to bend the hair with lightener in it because that'll move around the lightener, and especially on dark coarse hair like this, if you don't fully lighten, or if there's pieces that like the lightener moves, you can really see the warm spots, so it won't lighten very evenly. So I am just making sure that I'm like really saturating because her hair is so thick, and then also adding some lightener underneath the hair as I'm foiling as well. But as I'm doing this front money piece, you can see that I folded those foils up. This is because the hairline is generally finer than the rest of the hair. So this part, if I don't fold it up, because these hairs are a little bit on the thinner side and I do take a very thin slice here, the foils can slip. So I just fold the first few, and for her money piece, we did slices back to back because she wanted something super bold around her face. So I believe I did about 3 slices back to back, and then I started to do a baby light, another baby light, and then I continued to do my slicing pattern that connects that front hairline to the rest of the head. And since this is like the front of her head, I do kind of make sure that these slices are a little bit thinner and a little bit closer together, just so it has a little bit of like a graduation to where it gets lighter towards the front of her face. I also forgot to mention that my lightener that I'm using today is the Blonde Sports Cough Lightener. So I went ahead and mixed up 100 grams of equal parts of 6 and 20. And then I just used 20 volume for the rest of the head. And I like to like mix my lightener 1 to 2. So now I am going in and connecting the rest of the money piece. So for the sides, I wanted a little bit of softness because everything beyond just that front money piece in the center of her face, everything around the hairline, I don't want it to be as like stark of a line. I want it to kind of have some blending dimension in it. So I do a weave, and then after that I just do another weave, and everything just like around the hairline except where she parts her hair and in front of her face on the very top part is a slice, but everything else around it is going to be a weave just to add some softness as this grows out. And because these weaves are a little bit on the thicker side, I did opt to just not bend my foil just because it felt like it was thick enough to hold up without any slippage. And then after I did that, I pretty much just did like 3 of these detailing hairline weaves on the sides before connecting that front and back above the ear. Okay, so now I'm connecting that front and back section by doing the sides, and I'm just doing like a medium-sized weave to connect that. And then every foil after that one is going to just be slices. So when I'm slicing the sides here, I am taking a slight diagonal back and kind of doing the same thing that I did in the middle section of the head. And again, just making sure that my foils are not folded and everything is just fully saturated. And then once I'm done foiling the root part of everything here, I am going to tip out the ends. And when I tip out the ends, I'm going to mostly focus towards the front of the face. And this is going to make the color look so good because it's going to give that nice graduation look to where the color slightly gets a little bit lighter towards the ends of her hair. So now I'm going in and teasing and just making sure that my sections or wherever I'm going to tip out is thin enough, and then brushing up. And as I'm doing the tip outs, just kind of really saturating and just feathering up no higher than like the chin area of the head. And the reason why I'm teasing my tip outs is to kind of diffuse the line. So as I'm painting up and kind of like blending that out, the teasing does help with diffusing and making that line a little bit softer, so we don't see any like straight lines or anything like that in her tip outs. Okay, so this is what her hair pretty much looked like as we were pulling out the foils. Sorry guys, I know these quality, I don't know what happened with these clips. I think I just must have accidentally switched the camera setting to something really bad, but you guys can kind of see the middle section was ready and she got pretty light. I would say her hair lightened to like a pretty good level 9. So for her toner formulations, we went with using the Pulpirite Liquid Demis. So for her root, I went ahead, we've already applied that, and we use 6-0, which is a level 6 natural, and right now I'm just going in with a 7-0, which is a level 7 natural, and I'm gonna just go in and finish up just like the mid area and then let that process. So once that is applied onto the hair, I went ahead and mixed up a bowl and added some 8-2 into the remainder of like whatever was left in the bowl of the 7-0. So 8-2 is a level 8 violet, and I chose to kind of bump the level a little bit higher so that her ends were a little bit lighter than that mid area to create a beautiful graduation of color. And this is going to stay on her hair for about like 15 minutes. I wanted the root shade to allow it to get fully dark and process all the way, so I did leave this toner on for the full time. Alrighty guys, so here is the finished look. My client was so obsessed with the way that her color came out, and you can really see the difference with tipping out the ends, focusing towards the front of the face, and how much lighter she looks considering how dark she came in. And we gave her a really clean, fresh cut, and I love the way that this color like just blends in with her natural hair color. I feel like this is gonna fade really pretty and grow out really nice. We did do a weave that was very solid just because she was so dark, but if she ever feels like she wants something that will grow out a little bit softer, we can definitely blend the roots to grow out a lot softer. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.